Hello and welcome back to Cryptid Hauntings. Today I'm Mike, and today I have with me Mark and Pam. Chris is sick, so he's not going to be here today.
Air quotes, sick.
Mama had issues.
And today we're going to be talking about the Bear Lake Monster that's here in Utah-Idaho border. But first, Pam, what's your favorite ice cream?
It depends. How am I eating it? If it's a shake, I like cookie dough. If I'm just eating a bowl of it, mint chocolate chip. But then if I'm eating like with brownies or with cake, I like the Neapolitan. And yes, I did say it correct. I used to call it Napoleon ice cream.
The good old Napoleon.
The Napoleon ice cream, please.
Mark, what's your favorite ice cream?
Believe it or not, it is... Yes, I paused for emphasis. Vanilla bean. I like a plain old...
I'm surprised you picked such a boring flavor.
It's because
classic.
it goes with everything, right? I can put any candy bar in it. I can put any cookie in it. It goes with every brownie. It goes with every blondie. I really love vanilla ice cream. Call me weird. Call me a ginger.
Just call you vanilla.
It's vanilla.
And see, I'd go back to my favorite candy bar is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and my favorite ice cream is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I just really like peanut butter and chocolate. Like, this is the best combination there ever could be.
I don't disagree, but guess what the best platform for that peanut butter and chocolate is? Vanilla bean ice cream.
No, the Reese's peanut butter one from Dryers. It's a peanut butter based ice cream. With chunks of little tiny Reese's peanut butter cups and then a fudge swirl. It's pretty good.
That sounds pretty good.
The ice cream I always look at that I want to buy, but I was once told as a child that was stupid, was Superman ice cream.
I
always look at it and go like, I really want that. My husband the other day made fun of me. He's like, you have real money, Pam. You can buy it yourself.
You have adult money now.
The last date I went on had never heard of Superman ice cream, so we went and got some Superman ice cream. And
it disappeared for a while. It, for a while was Play-Doh, and then they renamed it to Superman.
Yep.
No, Play-Doh is different. So Breyers has both Play-Doh and Superman ice cream, and they are two different. One of them's berry type ice cream, and one of them's more of a cake type ice cream.
Huh.
I need both.
I need both in my life.
The swirl, I was, for some reason, wanted to be a hippie when I grew up, and it was like tie-dyed ice cream. Why would I not want tie-dyed ice cream?
I mean, that's fair.
Did I become a dirty hippie? No, I didn't. But I still want the tie-dyed ice cream.
And I'm like a generic hick. I like my vanilla.
Yeah, you're vanilla.
Okay,
it works.
So I think Pam was going to lead today's discussion on the Bear Lake Monster.
Right. So we are talking today about the Bear Lake Monster, also so kindly renamed as Isabella. Yes. Bear Lake sits in northern Utah on the border of Utah and Idaho. The earliest roots trace back to indigenous stories from the Shoshone and the Cache Valley Shoshone peoples describing a large serpentine creature in the deep water. Bear Lake, I think, in its deepest is a 30-foot deep lake.
No, it's like 80 feet.
Is it 80 feet? Oh, no, I lied. It was Utah Lake that was its deepest. So, yeah, Bear Lake was like 80.
Okay, now I have to double check.
Double fact check me.
Because I have it in my brain as like 200 feet.
It's not that deep.
It's like 80 feet deep is the deepest.
Because I was looking them up because we were at the 50th anniversary of the Edmunds Fitzgerald, and Lake Superior is like 100 and something feet.
That's like the 14th time you brought that up.
The song is now stuck in my head. I've been listening to it since Monday.
That's funny.
It's a good song.
Deepest part of Bear Lake is 208 feet.
Oh, it is 200 feet.
208
yes.
feet.
The average is 40 feet, 40 to 80 feet. But the deepest part is 208 feet, which is what makes this interesting because that is relatively equivalent to the lock Nest Monster's home ground in Scotland.
Well,
It's a deep lake.
It's a deep channel.
there's something else that gets brought up with the Loch Ness. Let's see if Pam will bring it up.
Yeah. Hold on to it. If
I'm
she
holding
doesn't
on to
bring it on, I want you to bring it up
I will
at the
bring it
end.
up. Yep.
Now I'm going through my Nessie facts. I don't know. So in 1868, the myth gained major attention when Joseph C. Rich, a local settler, wrote a sensational report to the Deseret News claiming that multiple people had seen a massive, fast-moving monster, faster than any fish around. Rich's story sparked excitement among the settlers and caught the attention of prominent Utah figures, including the most prominent of all at that time, Governor and President of the Church, Brigham Young.
And by church, we mean the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The Mormons.
The Mormons.
The Mormons.
Because usually when people say the church,
I know
it's
this
the
is
Catholic
Catholic.
Church.
Anywhere
Right.
outside of Utah, it's Catholics, but the church is the Mormons.
Nope,
Thank you.
we are in Utah. It is the church and the Mormons.
So Brigham Young reportedly discussed the monster with locals. Years later, Mr. Rich does admit that he may have exaggerated the tale, possibly to help boost local notoriety, but by then the legend had already taken on a life of its own.
But I think he isn't claiming to have completely made it up. He's claiming to have maybe boosted it a little.
Embellished.
Embellished.
That's a good word.
It is. What paper did this guy write for?
The Deseret News.
Which turned into...
The Deseret News.
Oh, I thought the
No,
Tribune.
So no.
No,
So Utah has two prominent newspapers and has since Mormons settled the area. There's the Deseret News and the Salt Lake Tribune. The Deseret News for years was owned by the LDS Church. It's very known to be very
Conservative.
Yeah, we'll go there. Salt Lake Tribune is the heathen newspaper.
Right.
And it was about 10
Okay.
years ago that the Deseret News bought out the Trib.
That's what I was going for. It's now the same paper.
It's now,
It's not the same thing.
They still function under the same names. They still try to do what they want, but it's now owned by the same company,
Okay.
the corporation of the church. So the monster itself, descriptions vary widely because you're getting all sorts of tales. It is an oral history. So they do have a consensus that there is a long serpentine aquatic creature, but lengths vary from 6 feet to 40 feet long.
That's quite the variation of lengths.
I mean, you could argue that you're seeing a baby monster at 6 feet long.
Yeah, but I've encountered like blow snakes that are longer than 6 feet.
Well,
So if this is a serpentine monster that can grow up to 40 feet, what do their babies look like? Like, realistically, how small are they going to be? Are they going to be 6 feet? I don't know. Maybe.
According to the dragon book I am reading at night, the sea monstrous Deathicus, which is the giant of the dragons, starts out as cat size and then grows to like 3 stories high. Yes, I know I'm looking at a fictional mythical dragon story, but
I mean, if we do go straight reptile, we own sulcatas. The first sulcata I bought was roughly the size of a Apple Smart Mouse.
okay, so like 6 inches maybe.
And now that one is probably the diameter of a 32-inch tire. So she's huge
Yeah.
in comparison. Like, 15 times the size she was when she was born. And she's only 4 or 5 years old. She can get almost double the size that she is now. So it makes sense. Maybe it does make sense that a 6-foot creature could grow into a 40-foot monster.
But I'm saying
I just talked myself into the theory.
But I would say that makes more sense than it topping out at 6 feet. 'Cause, oh, you saw a snake.
Right.
well, I mean, you could also sturgeon aren't they in Bear Lake? sturgeon. I think they are.
I don't know.
Sturgeon can get from fairly small to fairly big too.
So yeah, sturgeon is one of my like bucket list.
You want to go spear hunt?
I want to bow hunt a sturgeon. I know it sounds weird,
No.
but like that has been on my bucket list since I was like a small child.
I know somebody who might be able to hook me up with that.
I was told I was crazy by the Oregon folk.
That's because they're looking at ocean sturgeon,
I
not
know.
freshwater river sturgeon. Some other reported features of the monster is that they're scaly, dark body. They have multiple humps. They've got a horse-like or fish-like head. That there is a little, I think, divergent of a description of they either look like a horse or they look like a fish.
I was mistaken. There are no sturgeon in Bear Lake. I apologize.
I didn't think there were, but I wasn't gonna like straight up deny you because I wasn't sure.
We'll just fact check Pam.
Yeah, fact check.
fine.
He dove into
It's
the
fine.
fact checking himself, so I didn't feel like I needed to. I saw him typing over there, clickety clackety, clickety clackety.
They also are described as having occasional fins or flipper-like appendages.
Like Leopleurodon.
Magical Leopleurodon. Early settlers frequently called it a great big fish, and there's a lot of comparisons that take place between the Bear Lake Monster and Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster.
I mean, if you listen to the description you just threw out there, like horse-like head, flippers, long body,
It sounds like Nessie.
14 or 40 feet long, like multiple humps. That's a Nessie-looking like creature.
So, there's some
They
theories.
can't see you do that.
I know. we go to a portion of the supernatural that I personally am very skeptical about, of portals and tunnels.
But they're both quartz-based ponds.
You're right.
Okay, wait. Pause. Explain what you
Well,
just said.
I will-
So
oh, are
people-
you gonna?
I was
explain-
getting there.
Okay.
That was
Cool.
my breath. Was the rock formation Bear Lake is mostly quartz. You're looking at Nessie, that rock is mostly quartz. So there is a supernatural theory out there that because they are both quartz based, that there is a portal and they may be the same monster, if not a connected monster. Because the quartz makes a portal between
Nessie's
the
teleporting from Scotland to Utah.
Why not?
Bullshit.
I mean, it does fit into some earlier stories about the Mormons having tunnels from Salt Lake to the UK.
But they're not tunnels. They're actual portals, Pam.
Why not step it up and say they're portals?
We should not go into Mormon lore. Like, that's just bad.
We're not going. I'm gonna leave it there. But there's some early stories when you're looking at their mass conversion in the UK that they are smuggling people across the pond through a tunnel.
You can't see me, but I'm slapping my forehead and throwing it back in my chair going, ah!
I mean, on that.
People are dumb. People are dumb.
It was the 1800s.
Other people are dumb.
You can't just blame it on the 1800s. There's some good stuff that come out of the 1800s.
Like what?
1890s World Fair is why you have most of your modern conveniences. They were displayed at that World's Fair, like the refrigerator,
It's also where we get our most prolific serial killer from.
the Ferris wheel, air conditioning, phenology.
The White Castle.
That's true. But that's also why he was there, be able to be prolific. It's because of the World's Fair, and there was transient people coming
Okay,
through.
we've gone off.
Anyways,
Bear
sightings,
Lake Monster.
sightings of the Bear Lake Monster. So looking at 150 plus year of reported encounters. And yes, we're just looking at white settler encounters at this brief timeline. We're not taking into account earlier from the Shoshone tribes that were here.
I would love to take those accounts into consideration, but those are all oral histories, which...
So technically these are two. They're the eyewitness, but you do have longer time and longer myth with them. So there is more separation.
Right. I just feel like from the 1870s forward, they're more likely to be printed and documented, right?
Yes.
I love oral histories, especially from like native tribes. I find them super fascinating, but they're oral histories. Oral history tends to be embellished, right? It turned into legend.
There are always things that you need to look to corroborate and see what's going on, because there's other things. I won't go into oral histories, but yes. So our first written account is that 1868 account by Joseph C. Rich. By the 1870s, we're seeing multiple published stories of the creature that are surfacing near boats. So right after Rich kind of puts that newspaper article in, where people are starting to say, oh yeah, we're seeing something. In 1907, two men claim a monster attacked their camp and ate one of their horses.
Where did I miss that from?
It's in the explanation. I didn't send it to you, but that's the explanation of these sightings. One of them say that they ate his horse.
I missed this one completely. I'm going to have to go back. I always have to go back when we do these ones.
In 1946, there's a Boy Scout leader who swears he sees a massive creature moving across the lake.
You missed 1837.
That's 1937.
I'm sorry, 1937.
We're not there yet. We're still in the 18th.
No, we moved. I jumped to 1946.
From 1907 to 1946.
I skipped the Depression.
Well, poo-doo. Carry on.
Well, in 1937, a 4-year-old boy reportedly sees something large and strange in the water.
Yes, you...
I have a small child who has a really good imagination. He often tells me there are strange things in the water.
I have a small child who used to dance with a sewage pipe and call it Prince Louis.
No.
So I totally get this.
She also had a pet griffin.
And a griffin. Yep. Griff. Griff the griffin.
My child talks about Griff
Poor
sometimes.
grandpa letting Griff go.
I know. What a dick. He let him out the back door.
Anyway, so we have that Boy Scout leader in 46 who says he sees a massive creature moving across the lake. And then let's fast forward almost 60 years. In Garden City, which is a city up in northern Utah, there's a business owner who reports seeing a two-humped beast gliding through Bear Lake.
A sea camel.
A sea camel.
Well, that's one of the descriptions, right? Is it's got multiple humps.
Yeah. A lake camel, sorry.
A lake
camel.
Nessie, the lake camel, has 12 humps. So there are occasional sightings that continue. Today, often occurring at dawn or dusk when the light and water distortion can trick the eye. And despite there being over 150 years of stories, that's of white settler stories, whatever, there's no physical evidence ever conclusively proven that the creature existed.
I mean, my family spends a fair amount of time up there. We go, and maybe it's the time of the year. We go up there every year, mid-September, and we spend a weekend camping and playing in the lake. We'll take the dogs, and we'll typically go and spend those 3 days literally just playing in the lake all day. I have never seen anything.
Maybe Nessie is in Loch Ness.
Maybe September is the wrong month for her,
Yeah.
but like...
Yeah, maybe she's already moving to the bottom where the water isn't as going into some hibernation. I don't know.
I've spent a lot of time at Bear Lake and around Garden City. I mean, it's a fantastical story, but this one I tend to not prescribe to.
Like Nessie?
I actually believe more in Nessie than I do in the Bear Lake
Even
monster.
though the surgeon's photo is completely fake.
We'll get there eventually.
Okay. So the Bear Lake monster has become a beloved figure in local folklore, passed down through generations and embraced by the community. In 1996, Garden City's Raspberry Day Festival, because all these little towns in the state have some sort of festival.
We have Fiesta Days.
all summer.
I have Strawberry Days.
American Forks, like Steel Days,
Payson's
Payson
Onion Days.
Brigham City's Peach Days.
Yeah, we have all the days.
It's really whatever
crop
that they were told to plant when they settled, and it's all in this July month because that's about when
everything starts blossoming for the first time.
It's also you're celebrating because there's also Pioneer Day,
Right?
Celebrating that
the 4th
coming
of July,
coming to.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So with Garden City, they have Raspberry Days.
And their shakes are awesome.
They're really good berries up there. In '96, they had a contest and had the children vote, and they decided to name the monster Isabella. So that's where the name Isabella comes from.
Right.
There's also all sorts of statues and artwork up in that area to look. There's all sorts of merchandise. So if you're feeling like you need some tchotchkes with a monster,
Tchotchkes?
yeah. What's wrong with tchotchkes?
Nothing. I like tchotchkes.
Nothing. It's a fun word. It made me giggle.
Whatever. There's all sorts of merchandise and stuff that you can get. They have mascots like floats, parade floats all the time during the Raspberry Days up there as well. They have some tours that you can do to try to spot Isabella. A local saying in the area is, you may not know someone who has seen Isabella, but you know someone who knows someone who has.
That's a good saying. That's great.
My husband, brother, sister, sister's cousin, son.
Yep.
Yep.
I have my own grandpa.
Yep. So, some explanations for why you may be seeing Isabella.
These the scientific explanations?
I mean, if they use some sort of
Air
method,
quotes?
then yes, they are scientific. So, something that it just might be a optical illusion caused by the shape of the lake with the water clarity and lighting, that combination, you're going to see shadows and things. The wave patterns, where it is a deep lake, you're going to get some currents and stuff in there, and that it's creating the illusion of a moving creature or movement within the water. Also, with such a big, deep lake, you're going to get things floating in there. So maybe people are seeing a floating log or bright other vegetation that might be in the lake. Some sort of misidentified wildlife, such as a large fish. We did establish that there's not sturgeon in there, so there's probably a different type of large fish.
I love how my notes say sturgeon.
You just really want to hunt that sturgeon.
I want to get a sturgeon.
Well, cousin boss. I'll
Right.
have to talk to him.
I'm going to get there.
Some suggest the possibility of an undiscovered species. So, right, there's not been other evidence of said species, but, they may be at the bottom of the deep lake.
Undiscovered species like a monster in Bear Lake.
Like a magical Leopleurodon.
It could happen. It could happen.
That's what she said.
Others note the existence of large land animals in the region, like the grizzly bear, Old Ephraim, which also inspired monster-like stories in the Deseret News. So,
I'd like to point out that Old Ephraim is, like, for a lot of those, it's eating our cattle and whatnot. The bear was literally eating cattle, and people were blaming it on Isabella. So
He was definitely a menace in the area at the time.
So some other cryptids that Isabella is compared to Nessie, which we've been making those jokes. The Ogopogo, which is in Canada, and Charlie, which is in another lake in Idaho. Some things that these all have in common is that they are deep lakes. People swear there's some sort of serpentine creature in there, and there's also these oral histories from native people saying that there's some sort of something in the water. So, is it a coincidence that the Bear Lake and Loch Ness both sit above quartz deposits?
So, this is where I get to put my tinfoil hat on. You had your tinfoil hat day a little while ago. This is my tinfoil hat day. Quartz. Quartz is... It is the basis and the linking factor in so many supernatural events. Quartz is a magical stone. I don't care who you are or what you are or where you come from, quartz has magical properties.
You did miss our discussion with the Stanley Hotel, and that's part of the stuff with the Stanley is that the underground walkways for staff it's built on quartz. They use quartz.
It's quartz bed. They build the hotel on a literal quartz mountain, right? You look at the pyramids of Giza, like the parts of the pyramid that are built out of quartz, that's where the mystical functions come from, right? I don't know if we'll ever get into that part of the supernatural and funky
we could.
shit. We're doing cryptids and hauntings. I would love to get into the pyramids, but that is so far out of where this podcast wheelhouse is supposed to sit. Right? It's not aliens. I don't think it was ever aliens. I'm
just saying that. I had this conversation earlier today. It's not aliens.
I don't think it was aliens, but I do think...
aliens built Stonehenge.
You're going to have to censor that, but Jesus, I want to punch you across the table. I think early mankind was far more advanced than we want to give them credit for. Leaving that alone, going back to, I think quartz plays a part in how we perceive things. I think the magnetic fields in quartz changes things. I think there are things about quartz that we don't understand.
Do we need to get you a woo-woo quartz tinfoil hat?
Yes, I want a woo-woo quartz tinfoil hat because quartz is freaking crazy, and it is often the underlying note in a lot of these supernatural and monster things. They happen around quartz beds. It's weird. I would like to get further into that later.
Or do they just happen around quartz bed because quartz is so abundant?
Stop it. Our quartz here is very different. Just like the quartz at, in the pyramids, it's very different. So there's quartz, and then there's like laden quartz, and then there's high density quartz. We can get into this. I know I failed geology. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, but like, I've done. I hate you so much right now.
You're fine.
Quartz.
So you're swearing.
Now I know what to get Mark for his Christmas.
Quartz?
No, we're gonna make him a quartz tinfoil crown.
Okay.
Nope. Stop.
I'm gonna do it.
Anyways, sorry. Quartz derailment. Carry on. Tourism.
It's more a question of why do these stories persist so strongly in white settler accounts for over 150 years. I don't know. I think it's that meshing of culture. You also have people who are in a new place and space, don't really understand what's there, and trying to explain what they can't.
Well, you come from the early settlers come from what? Missouri, Illinois.
They're coming from back east.
Back
New York.
east. Well, New York, but like they collect people along the way, right?
Right.
And you get to this place it's a high desert. You have this lake that is deep and brilliantly blue and is ice cold all the freaking time. It has mystical properties to it, right? And they start making shit up.
Well, and then it's not, according to sources, it's not helped by indigenous people's records of that time. Because they're, according to this Riley guy, he's saying that the Indians are telling him that there are stories of things in the lake. And so him going, hey, there are things in the lake, because the indigenous people say there are things in the lake, doesn't help.
He's also priming that pump of...
I'm selling newspapers?
No, to see things. He's priming where you may not have had as many stories before, because they've been there for 20 years. The white settlers have been there for almost 20 years. So you now have a newspaper account saying, oh, I've seen things. People are reading that account, and then it's, oh, I've seen things. We're doing this. We know. So that might be part of it.
Do I get to put my temple hat on again?
Yes, please.
So there is also accounts of a lost mind in that region, and the Indians are supposed to be guarding this lost mind in that region. Are they making up monster stories to dissuade people from exploring the region?
It's totally possible.
Temple hat. I've done a lot of research on that
I also don't
thing.
particularly buy into the mind story, but
I'll have
do
to pull out my maps for you one time.
look at my map.
Well, I mean,
Look at this. It's so cool.
But I also know that depending on where you're at, what groups you're looking at, they do tell stories to white people to scare them, to keep them away from
certain
and
areas.
it could be not so much it's a mine. It could be this is a sacred place. We don't want you near our sacred place.
Where he's getting into the stuff Mark's looking at is that lost Spanish mine legends that permeate the whole state, because the Spanish are
let's be honest. They're bullshit.
They're not like well, you and I will disagree on that like forever and butt heads, because
I'm on the in between on it. I'm like,
we're so far off the topic.
I know,
and I apologize. That's my tinfoil hat problem.
But you're right. We do have these stories where they do, because it could be sacred. It could be something else. They just be bullshitting the white people.
Hey, you guys, want to see something funny about that white guy over there? Hey, I saw this thing in the lake.
Well,
It's got two humps like a camel.
We also know, like,
How does an Indian know what a camel looks like?
I don't know.
We also know the trappers in the area are also telling stories to try to keep population out of their fur catching. Like, Jim Bridger is known for lots of tall tells. And it's specifically to mess with the settlers.
Yeah, they keep
and
them
particularly
out of his
to mess
trapping
with the
areas.
Mormons.
Yep. Anyways, let's...
So, whether Isabella is real or not, right, the legend continues to unite communities, spark imagination, and draw visitors to the Bear Lake's turquoise shores. So this is...
Did you say turquoise?
I did.
Turquoise shores. Okay.
It's
the type of blue that the lake is?
Yes, I understand.
I did say it weird.
She said it weird, and I was just reaffirming stink eye to Mike.
It's one of those words I have troubles with.
It's because of our grandma. It's cool.
So, this is a great one that if you want to do some more digging, look at some personal accounts, please do. USU, Utah State University, has a great folklore archive specifically dedicated to the Bear Lake Monster that's got a lot of these newspaper accounts if you guys want to check that out.
I will also drive people towards the economy of Garden City. If you want to check out Raspberry Days to check out some Isabella stuff, totally go to Raspberry Days.
If you want to just do some Isabella hunting yourself, there is tons of shoreline. Go take your family out and throw up a sunshade and play in the water. It's gorgeous. We do it every year.
Yeah, I would say Bear Lake is beautiful. Go.
And we're not plugging just because we live here.
This isn't like a Mike shameless book plug.
No, I would rather you not pollute my shores with your presence because I like less people in my area, but it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Go check it out.
Okay, any last questions, comments, or concerns?
The end of a shitty interview again?
Do I need to switch that up? I can switch that up.
Definitely switch that up.
Questions, comments, or concerns?
Do we have any deep thoughts for
Any closing thoughts, maybe?
Fine. Do we have any clothing thoughts?
You're an ass.
There are quartz portals between Utah and the UK.
No. What about the pyramids in Utah? I broke them. I win.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Cryptid Hauntings. We'll spook you later. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cryptid Hauntings. I'm Mike, also known as M. Gardner. As you should know by now, I've written a book, and it will be coming out June of 2026. I would like to share with you a passage from this book, if I may. His eyes were heavy with sleep. Al got a sudden shock as something licked the bottom of his feet. Moving slow as not to startle it, he propped himself up onto his elbow, which caused him a lot of pain. To his surprise, what was licking his feet was a large, multicolored mountain lion. It was bigger than the ones he had seen in the zoo. It was tan and brown and looked like a calico cat. Al's stomach fell about 10 feet. He was petrified with fear. What was he supposed to do in this situation? Trying not to make sudden movements, Al slowly laid down on his back. His mind blank. Al thought the best course of action was to reach out his mind to see if this majestic creature would mean him any harm. "You are not a normal angel," Al heard a gruff voice say in his head as soon as his mind touched the cat's. "No, I'm not. How can I understand you?" "I'm a Pantera. Any creature of power can understand me." "Are you going to hurt me?" "No, I just needed to get your attention. You may look at me now if you wish." The Pantera purred. That is just a small interaction of the Pantera, a god from another world that El interacts with. El is a young Nephilim whose parents sell his soul before he's born. He is then thrown from the human world into a world of monsters, angels, and demons that he knows nothing about. His one goal, the one thing driving him to face this world, is his soul. Where is it? Where can it be found? Would you brace hell and back for your soul? Come with me on this journey and see what lengths El will go to find out where he belongs in the world.